Hi, it's Caitlin and I'm here with my August 2023 polish pickup video. The theme for August is Dreamscapes, and let me tell you a little fun fact about myself, and that is I have the weirdest dreams. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. And maybe that's super normal, but they've just been particularly weird and disturbing lately. Not like quite nightmares, but just kind of weird. So if I was making a polish for this month, it would probably be like a really eerie vibe to it. But thankfully, most of the inspiration, it seems, for this month is very ethereal and dreamy and beautiful. There are some vampire polishes, there are some very light and delicate polishes, and these polishes will be available from August 4th through the 7th on the Polish Pickup website. I will link that down in the description. And I guess that's everything you need to know. So let's just get into the nail polish. Starting with the Bluebird lacquer polish for this month called Rollin with my Chrome-ies. And this one is inspired by Technicolored Lucid Dreams, and it's described as a sky blue jelly base with a rainbow mix of large particle shifting shimmers that give a sparkly chrome-like finish. This polish is pretty much a rainbow in a bottle. It really shifts through so many colors, like almost all the colors of the rainbow, which hopefully you can probably already see, but you'll see even more obviously in a second. And this also has a really good formula considering it's a jelly. I think it's due in part to the large particle shimmer. It really covers up any visible nail line. And this one, you will probably want a top coat. It does dry down pretty shiny and chrome-like, but I always recommend a top coat. So here it is in 2 coats, and here it is with the rainbow very easily showing through. There's pretty much every color. There's yellow, there's purple, there's blue, there's green, there's pink. This one is really, really fun and entertaining to wear on your nails. And it's almost, at least with my skin tone, oddly neutral when you're out of any sort of direct lighting. So this one is beautiful in the sun. That particle size really does sparkle a lot without the addition of any hollow or glitter. And it's just beautiful pretty much in any lighting. And this is how it looks out of direct lighting completely. You can see that chrominess, and it's just super, super fantastic. Next up is Clionadh Cosmetics Cloud Spires, and this one is inspired by the fantastical gamescape of Spyro the Dragon and the namesake round Cloud Spires. This one has a sheer pinky mauve base with yellow lime aqua shifting shimmer, pink, orange, and indigo shifting iridescent flakes, and silver holographic flakes. This one could be used as a topper or built up on its own, but the minute I saw this, I knew I wanted to build it up on its own. I think it's so delicate and ethereal. So I am going to recommend 3 coats, but you could obviously stop at any point, figuring out how you like to wear your polish, which I'm sure you know how to wear your own polish and do what you like with your nails. But for me, I found in 3 coats, it pretty much gave opacity. And I really love this base color. For me, it's almost like a neutral. That purpley undertone just makes it really elegant and ethereal. And in 3 coats, it does dry down a bit dull, so I will recommend a glossy top coat, though flakes like this tend to look really good matte, so if that's what you're into, go for it. And hopefully you can start to see the shifts that are in those iridescent flakes. This one, again, it has a lot going on in it, but it all comes together really nicely, and I think it gives a really beautiful, dreamy, ethereal finish. And I do just really love it. I love how pink it is. Again, on my skin tone, it is quite neutral and pretty. And I love the little iridescent flakes in there. I love a light, delicate polish like this. Next up is Girly Bit's Beautiful Illusion. And this one is a sheer base saturated with an intense red to gold shifting shimmer and dusted with purple metallic flakes. So this one is one of the most unique polishes in my collection, and I love it. So as you can see, it has this beautiful formula. It's really pretty on the first coat, and honestly, I might wear it in one coat, but I will show it built up in 3 because I'm sure most people will build it up. But the combination of colors in this one, the gold and orange, and then the purple, it just works so beautifully. And Pam sent me her inspiration photo, which was probably in the Polish Pickup Facebook group, and she nailed the inspiration perfectly. So I will recommend a glossy top coat. Again, this one would probably look good matte, but I'm team glossy, you know that by now. I'm not opposed to matte, but 99% of the times it's glossy for me. So this is also really pretty and sparkly, as you can see with the light catching it. And here you can see what I mean about this being absolutely stunning and unique. I will note that this is capped at 400 bottles because Pam is unfortunately dealing with a bottle shortage right now. So if you like this, you want to get on the Polish Pickup site early. It's so pretty. I think a lot of people are going to fall in love with this one as much as I have. And here we have Sassy Sauce. That's what C said. I almost screwed that up, but I didn't. And this one is an orange crelly base with a strong blue to violet glowy shimmer that bounces off the background colors. And this one is so juicy. It is so unique and beautiful. I have said it before in a few videos that I'm kind of really starting to love orange nail polish, or maybe indie makers are starting to make more oranges because I feel like that's been a neglected color category for a long time. And this one is so bright. It's almost like a neon base color, not quite, but everything in this is beautiful. I like how fine the shimmer particle is. It really just kind of like integrates with the polish. And I will recommend building it up in 3 because you can kind of see my nail line at the tip, but this formula isn't overly sheer. It builds up really nicely and it has like a bit of a creaminess to it, and it's beautiful. So it does dry down dull, and I will recommend a glossy top coat. This one is Cuticula Limitless, which is available this month in the unscented variety. Usually she'll have a scent, but it's unscented for anyone, and it dries super quick. It leaves your polish super glossy until you're ready to take it off, and I love it. As you know, I'm pretty much always using it in my videos. So here's the polish in some different lighting, and it kind of turns into this like neon pink at extreme angles. At other times, the shimmer really stands out as blue. Sometimes it kind of looks purple. It looks really good, whether it's sunny, overcast, artificial lighting, or whatnot. I actually had some real sunshine, and this one is so much fun. So now we're moving into the portion of my video that is not paid PR. The previous polishes were. And this first one is Bedford and Grove, May Your Dreams Take You on a Wonderful Adventure. And this one is described as a brilliant blue base with turquoise shimmer and scattered hollow. So this polish has a really good formula. It was pretty much opaque on the first coat, but I almost never leave a polish in one coat unless I want an intentionally sheer look. This one is clearly not sheer. It's very opaque. And in 2 coats, it builds up beautifully. It doesn't dry with any brush strokes, considering the finish is super metallic-y, which I always appreciate a brush stroke free finish. And it's just a really vibrant, brilliant blue as it's described. It does dry down a tiny bit dull, so I will recommend a glossy top coat, which will help to bring out that shimmer and the scattered hollow in there, which is very sparingly used. It just creates this nice overall sparkliness to the polish. So as you can see, this is really vibrant, and the shimmer is pretty complementary, or I guess you would call it coordinated, because it's a turquoise shimmer, so it just kind of adds this depth to the polish, which I find to be really beautiful. Again, actual sunshine and not wildfire smoke sun, so it was nice to show this one off to see how sparkly it is. Moving along, we have Cuticula from Another Planet, and this one is a deep teal jelly base with large particle orange to red to gold to green shimmer, green metallic flakes, and silver holographic flakes. So this one has a really beautiful jelly base, as I mentioned, and as you can clearly see. And it's this really pretty color that I would almost describe as like a cross between a teal and a forest green. So the more coats you apply, the deeper the base will get. And I kind of really liked it in 2, but I have a feeling a lot of people will like it in 3. So I should have shown that, but I just kind of got carried away with how much I liked it after 2 coats. You can really see all of those little goodies in there. And of course, I'm using the Cuticula Limitless top coat, which is available this month in the unscented variety. Usually Amanda offers delicious scents, but not everybody likes scented top coat, so this is a great time to try it if you just want an amazing top coat. It's honestly the best. So this one smooths out completely in 1 coat of top coat. It doesn't really have texture, but it just dries down a little less than smooth. And here you can see how shifty the flakes are in this one. Again, there's so many elements in this polish, but they all work together beautifully. It's definitely giving an outer space vibe. I just really, really like the base color, and I love the shifts in this one. It's so much fun. Here we have Femme Fatale in Starlust. So this one is described as a beautiful soft pale pink packed with teal to blue to purple shifting shimmer, silver reflective glitter, and pale teal blue matte glitters. So this one is pretty much sheer on that first coat, but I love, love, love those little glitters. They're mostly showing up as white to me in the bottle. I don't know if that's like a trick of the eye, but they're definitely matte. They definitely work with the shimmer and everything going on in the polish. And the reflective glitter is just a really fun addition. There's a lot of it, but it's not too textured. So as you can see, I applied 3 coats of this very easily, and I will recommend a good glossy top coat like Cuticula Limitless to smooth everything out. So as you're going to see, the top coat will smooth everything out, and this one is just really pretty. I'm a sucker for soft pink polishes like this, and I also love the shimmer color choice. So here you can see how sparkly that reflective glitter makes everything. And in 3 coats plus top coat, this one is just fantastic. So it looks super, super pink in certain angles, and then at others, it looks more ethereal and delicate. So this one is super fun. And of course, here it is with the camera flash so you can see the reflectiveness of those glitters. Next up, we have Glisten Glow Tears from Heaven. And this one is described as a dark gray base with deep teal undertones loaded with color shifting shimmers that shift pink, red, orange, yellow, and green. And there's a story behind this one, which is that Jill, since she was very little, has always had the same recurring dream of dark clouds in the sky, rain pouring down with rays of light peeking through in various colors. And her mom would always tell her, "Don't worry, honey, they're just tears from heaven from loved ones who have passed on." And then this polish is a tribute to all of those who have lost a loved one. So this one, I found it to be opaque in 2 coats, and the other polish Glisten Glow is offering is their top coat, which is like in close second with Cuticula. I honestly love this top coat so much. There's it does a great job of smoothing things out, providing a really glossy finish, and allowing your polish to last a really long time. So here it is in 2 coats plus top coat, and you can see just how sparkly the shimmer is in this one. And here, hopefully, you're going to be able to see just how shifty the shimmer is as well. So you're getting that green at the very extreme angles, as well as some gold. And in more direct lighting, it's coming off as like red and orange. This one's really fun and shifty, and you don't see a lot of gray polishes, so I'm always happy to see one. And here we have Kathleen & Co. in Another World. And this one, I knew in the bottle that I was going to love it, and I wasn't wrong. This one is a grape purple base loaded with fuchsia to red shifting shimmer and hollow flakes. So this one has a super jelly sheer base, which I really like. I love the Kathleen & Co. formula. I don't know if I've impressed that upon you all enough, but I truly love it, and I love, love, love their brush and the handle for it. It's just really easy to control the application, and consequently, I also love this polish. It's really beautiful. I love the base color. It's really interesting. I don't know how to describe it, but it's very ethereal. It almost gives off a metallic effect when you build it up because of the shimmer. And the hollow flakes, I love hollow flakes, so there's a good amount of them, and it just creates a really pretty effect. I will recommend top coat just because it does dry down a little bit dull, and you want those hollow flakes to pop as much as possible. So here it is in 3 coats plus top coat. You can see just how beautiful that shimmer is. It's really intense, and it is very shifty. You get some orange at more extreme angles, and then really extreme angles. I also caught green, which is always fun. I love green shimmer. And this one looks good in all sorts of lighting. I just think this is a really beautiful polish, so if you're into pinky shades, don't miss it. Next up is Paint It Pretty Polish Waterfall Dreams, and this one is described as a sheer blue base with strong shimmers that shift gold, yellow, and green. So Paint It Pretty Polish is kind of like the queen of shimmers, like sheer based shimmers in my opinion, and I was really happy to see this one. So this one goes on really easily on the first coat. It's obviously sheer, but it will build up pretty well in 2 coats. That's where I left it. And you can see that the shimmer in this one is also a very sparkly variety. And And for some reason, when I saw the name of this polish, I don't know why, I thought of golden showers. I don't know. Is that gross? That's really gross, but that's what came to mind. And I don't know why now. I can't get it out of my head. But that's no disrespect to this polish. There's no shaming here. This one is just a really beautiful polish. I haven't seen a lot of blues with that yellowy gold shimmer like this, and I think this one does a really great job of it. It definitely looks like water too, where it's on the sheer side, like water falling over a waterfall. Not what I was thinking. And this has a super intense shift, so hopefully you're catching that. Very green at extreme angles, very golden, very sparkly. It's just a really beautiful, beautiful polish. So if you love blues, then I have a feeling you're going to love this one. This was honestly a polish that I really couldn't stop staring at because it's just really entertaining. And I am going to show you a little bottle comparison between this one and Rainbow Hair from the Rewind polish pickup. So obviously Waterfall Dreams is more of that yellow gold shift, and Rainbow Hair has more of a rainbow shift to it. It's also a slightly deeper blue base, but if you're a fan of Rainbow Hair and you like the shimmer in Waterfall Dreams, then I'd recommend picking it up because it is supremely beautiful and just as shimmery. The Waterfall Dreams also has a larger particle shimmer. Here we have Painted Polish Pastel Prism, and I got really excited when I saw this one in the bottle. This one is inspired by a shade this one is a polish shade inspired by an AI-created dreamscape featuring a pastel rainbow castle in the clouds, and this polish is just so dreamy and cute to me. So this features a pastel rainbow of metallic glitters and a white crelly base. And as always, Painted Polish has a fantastic formula. So this is totally opaque in 2 coats. And I just cannot get enough of the pastel rainbow glitters in this polish. It reminds me of childhood. It makes me happy. And even though this is acrylic, so it will be a bit difficult to remove, but 1 layer of the Cuticula Limitless top coat smoothed this one out for me. So you're not going to need like a glitter grabber plus a glitter regular top coat. You can if you want, but it does smooth out really well in 1 layer of regular top coat. And here you can see there really is a beautiful little pastel rainbow in this polish, and there's just something so sweet about it. This one actually makes me kind of hungry for, I don't know, candies and macaron. And thankfully I had some sun out so you can see just how pretty this is in the sun. And next up is Polished for Days Interstellar. This one is a navy base with a rainbow of mixed size iridescent flakes and a very small sprinkling of silver reflective glitter. And this one's inspired by a galactic dreamscape. So this one has a really easy to apply formula. On the first coat, it's definitely not necessarily even, but trust me, it will be totally even in the second coat. And as you are going to see, the flakes in this one are so vibrant and electric. They stand out so beautifully against the deep base, which I think is quite an art to be able to get such a deep base, but also allow the rainbows in the flakes to stand out as beautifully as they do. And thankfully, if you don't love reflective glitter, it is used very sparingly here, so it's not going to overtake the polish. It doesn't add too much texture. Again, 1 layer of glossy top coat smoothed everything out for me, and it just adds a really nice twinkle. So here it is in 2 coats plus top coat. You can see how vibrant those flakes are, and depending on what lighting you catch this in, the base will look a little more navy or it might look a little more purple. It all just depends on the lighting. And as I mentioned, those reflective glitters don't overtake by any means. They just add a really interesting little twinkle, very galactic, very in line with the theme for the polish, which is a galactic dreamscape. And here it is with camera flash. And last but not least, we have Rogue Lacquer Knowledge Reclaimed, and this one is inspired by a whimsical world of overgrown libraries and imagination, where we reclaim all the knowledge that books have to offer us. So Rachel's been really getting back into reading this year, and as she began to explore dream worlds, the scenes with libraries instantly caught her eye, and she's always loved going to the library, so this is very near and dear to her heart. It's described as a blurple/marine blue base with blue, copper, red, gold glass flakes. And this one is beautifully jelly and squishy, and I love the flakes in this polish. They're so vibrant as well. And a portion of profits from this polish will be donated to kidsneedtoread.org, which is about empowering and emboldening every child through a culture of reading. So it's an incredible organization to support, and I love that Rachel is helping their mission. And back to the polish, it does build up beautifully in 3 coats, and I will recommend a glossy top coat on this one because those glass flakes just dry a little tiny bit textured. They won't be difficult to remove, but obviously, come on, look how juicy and squishy this looks with the glossy top coat. And here you can see just how shifty those glass flakes are. Rachel does an incredible job with polishes like this, and I love this one because I love blues, and this one is just so much fun. I have a lot of standouts this month, and I don't even know if it's worth mentioning all of them because there are so many of them, but immediately I fell in love with the Sassy Sauce. I think the combination of the shimmer and the base color is so summery and so wild to me. I just love that one. And I also really love the Polished for Days because those flakes are just so vibrant, and I think that the reflective glitter was used sparingly and in a way that I found to be super beautiful, and it's kind of unique in my collection, so I fell in love. And I have to give a big shout out to the Girly bits because of uniqueness alone. I have absolutely nothing like that in my collection. It's so incredibly beautiful how Pam brought all of those different elements together to create this really dreamy and ethereal polish, which also looks exactly like the inspiration. So please let me know in the comments if you are loving any of these polishes, if you're planning on picking any of them up. Let me know what else is on your wish list, and have a great day wherever you are, and sweet dreams. Bye.